The Organic Breeze with Shafat Ahmed Khan. Saturday 7 till 9 a.m. only on CII Radio.
8:42 Central African Time, at that time of the morning, where we join our world-renowned comparative religion scholar. He is also a pharmacist. He's a wonderful lecturer. He's the president of IFRI, our very own Rafeek Hassen. Before I get to him, let me read the correspondence that has come through. He says, Assalamu alaikum, CII on air with the breeze and Shafa'at. I must say, we look forward to this breeze. The whole week packed with interesting information. Jazakallah to all. Please, I want the scholar Rafeek Hassen to reply me. I want to know the exact and precise practice and etiquette in time of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the house of the Mayat, where the ladies gather. In the recent times, families have been traumatized by conduct of women folks gathering at Mayat house before the body can be placed in the ground. People are asking at the house what time is the feeding or what time are they cooking. I don't want dal cow. Better they made biryani. And some say the children are hungry. They should feed now. And it's people in the community sitting and waiting to eat. Worst is they go and overcrowd into rooms, and the kids are opening cupboards and jumping on the beds. The sisters are commenting, "Look, they didn't dust long time in this corner." Am I within my rights to say when I die or anyone in my family dies, only immediate family can enter the house, not the whole town opening our fridges and cupboards and give food for the kids? And if the lounge is full, they can come another day or sit on the grass, because we can't allow again for the women folk to enter our rooms and mess up the kitchen and mess everything up. I want a very private funeral like Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's daughter Fatima radiallahu anha. Can I write this for my funeral? Jazakallah khairan. Anonymous in Durban South. Rafeek Hassen, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And how are you doing this fine, beautiful Saturday morning?
Fine.
Yes, a very probing letter there indeed. How do you respond, Rafeek? We've got 10 minutes because the juice is exactly 63 minutes. You've got the next 10 minutes. Bismillah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salam khataman nabiyyin wa ba'd. Well, it's important discussion. This is with house, a funeral house. We have gone off the track in many things. House is the same, so I'm bringing that in. We've also gone off the track in terms of what is allowed, especially from a Sharia point. We're getting too much, involved in, what goes like the Joneses and getting influenced by the ways of other people around us and cultures and customs around us. So I think this is an important question. The Prophet ﷺ said that bury your dead as quick as possible, right? So the speed, what is the reason for that? Now I'm starting with that because all the other things are going to follow around this point. There's 2 points Nabi ﷺ said about a janaza, about a person that has passed on. So one is, try and get that burial done as quick as possible. Don't delay. Then the second thing he said, don't, that there was a custom, Brother Shafat, in the days of Jahiliyyah, that they used to wail and scream and, get, into tearing the clothes and all kinds of things. And Rasulullah didn't like that. He says these are the ways of Jahiliyyah. If you do this, now here's the point, Brother Shafat. If you'll start to do this, you are tormenting the person who has passed away. The Mayat is being tormented. The Mayat, the person who has passed on, is starting to be tormented because of those actions. So this is the crux of whatever I'm going to say after this. And this is a very important thing that we must keep in mind in a Mayat house. And I'm going to add one more thing that the Prophet ﷺ said. Because we think the person has died, and so now, then we're not even worried about the body, the janaza. We're worried about, as you said, the food and other things. All people are standing outside you said women, because generally of the space there, the women go in the house, and at least they are supposed to be reading, Yasin for the marhum, that has passed on. The men are sitting outside and chatting, and other ladies who are not reading are, as you said, in rooms. It's not a nice scene. This is a Mayat house, and the deceased is being tormented by all kinds of wrong actions taking place. Now, this is the crux of the thing. The Prophet ﷺ also said, to the effect that when you are doing the ghusl, obviously that is these days it's done, at the masjid, they have proper ghusl facilities. He says the janaza is fully aware of the ghusl being done on it. In fact, not only that, the janaza is fully aware of once the soul has left the body, the soul has not united with the body, and it's hovering around. Let's use that word, right? That's why now one of the reasons when I said the first point, Nabi Sallallahu said, make quick, because the soul is restless and wants to unite with the body, and that only happens when it's in the grave, when you have buried. So rush, because it's going through torment, it's going through restlessness. So the soul of the departed soul of the marhum is aware of everything, is witnessing everything. So, having kept this point and keeping this point in mind, how very important it is what happens at the Mayat house now, Brother Shafat. So this will maybe help us to understand the decorum and what is needed, what that Mayat needs. Because let me tell you something. We go in our state of ghaflat in this world, right? We most of us, and today we thought a janaza will, when there's a Mayat, it starts to make us think about our own death. We for that period of the janaza, we try to, reflect on our lives and really hope that we have a good ending. But you find even leave alone in the house and men standing outside in the Qabristan, Brother Safar, where they are lowering the body, other men are chatting and laughing about it. It's not having an effect on us anymore. That, look, man, this is a lesson. This is a lesson. And I may be next, Am I preparing for this eventuality? And it's because of this state of ghafla, and we're not taking lessons that I could be the next one. They say that, there's a nice saying that, normally they keep one or two graves open, Brother Shafat, in the graveyard, because, sometimes you don't know when death is coming. And, the Sheigh, the poet, puts it very nicely. He says, everything is ready. The frame is ready. It's just now, we talk here, who's going to get inside there. What is only the name is missing of who's going to be the next one to be put in there. Everything else is ready. And we're not taking note of these things. Food, we're worried about, other things in the house. Did that one come, delay the janaza? Oh, that fellow still got held up in traffic coming from Joburg. He's going to be another so many hours away and what. Now, I'm not saying, we mustn't be reasonable. Closure is important. But one has to weigh situations, as to, even before you set the time of janaza, make all the proper, so that while the Mayat is in the house, it is the last few moments of reading, zikr, dua, istighfar for the departed soul. That is what is going to keep, sukoon to the departed soul. So what I'm getting at while I'm rounding up, Brother Safat, alhaakumut takathur hatta zurtumun maqabir kalla sawfa ta'alamun. We are busy in our world until we reach the grave, or until death reaches us. Kalla sawfa ta'alamun. Then the reality hits us. The whole thing opens up to us. Everything comes to reality. The grave, the Jannat, Jahannam, my deeds, all that is flashing now in front of me. Now that is what the janaza sitting there. It's seeing its place in heaven or hell. It's seeing all its deeds flashing. It's seeing that it's going to be, the angels will be coming just now to ask me this question. That, Kalla Sofa Ta'alamun, the Quran says. Everything is being now shown to you from on that end, which we were telling everyone that all the prophets were telling us from this end, but we were in ghafla. Now, if you know all this, the house will be quiet with zikrullah. If you can't read Quran, make zikr, make istighfar, make dua for the departed soul. And yes, you mustn't cook at home. Give food only to those who came from far. And I am going to add, actually you should, those that are nearby at home should, as quick as possible, leave the house again, and so that they make a way for only those that came from far and immediate family. That may be the good thing to do, and the mixing on intermingling is the worst thing, that we are breaking the Sharia rules when it comes to these things. So yeah, let's end by saying we hope we take these things into account. Same thing is happening at weddings. I want to end up by saying our weddings are going that way too. May Allah guide us. And things that are these functions are functions of blessings, but we are not getting those blessings and losing those blessings. In fact, earning negative and maybe even punishment from those functions because we are not doing it the proper way. Allah, guide us and make us do the right thing, inshallah.
No, absolutely brilliant, Rafeek. And, perhaps when it comes to death, are people of this generation more desensitized to death because they see it as a drama being played out? And you look at this country, every second there's death taking place, there's murder. The media wars are shown live on, media, on TV screens and so forth. Are people desensitized to the reality of death, Rafeek?
Very much so. I would go more finely. See, with all that violence, they are desensitized to the violence that we are seeing and the murder and the killing. They are desensitized to these things. But the death itself, which is a reality, we say there's only two things in life that are certain, the taxman and Malak al-Maut, nobody can run away. But the problem is we are in ghafla. You are right. What I would say, we are not thinking about that we could be next on the line. We are in a state of, engrossed. Al-hakumut taqasur. We are engrossed in worldly things. And the Prophet ﷺ said, I don't fear that my ummah will commit shirk after me. They will not do that, but I'm afraid that they will be, engrossed in this world, which means they'll forget death. And the death is a reminder. If we think of death regularly and every day, perhaps that is the thing that will bring us back to reality. Rather, we do it before we reach the grave. So you are right, Brother Shafad. We are not taking lessons and we are in a state of ghafla. We have to think of death. Prophet ﷺ, to one riwayah, it says, I think of death, 70 times a day. Now, that is something to think about. If we can think of death at least once or twice a day, maybe our lives will change, because then we know the reality will be facing us, inshallah.
Rafeek Hassen, absolutely brilliant as usual. Allah bless you. Allah keep you. We'll talk to you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.